Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic: inflation is coming. And this is by Paul the Poke website, financial insider Michael Douville. For those of you who have not read some of Michael's stuff that's posted on the website, I would encourage and welcome you guys to scroll down here on the right side of the blog under categories and check out Michael's stuff. Click on it. He's been writing for several years. The guy has just been spot on, and that's all you can say about it. He's been ridiculously accurate on market calls, economic calls. He specializes in real estate. This is his book, How to Create a Real Estate Money Machine and Retire with Income. And although his specialty is in real estate, he is a big picture thinker and gets it when it comes to economic forecasts, what's going on around the world, how it affects people in daily practical situations. And he's the guy that I use. And the reason I use him, one of the hallmarks of the beginning of the tribulation is hyperinflation, as noted in Revelation 6. And so I'm concerned about watching economic conditions, specifically trends regarding inflation. And it's like any of these things. When I point these out, am I saying, oh, this is it, this is it, this is it? No, it's not. But I do think it is worth noting and paying attention to mechanisms in our world that can cause inflation being a factor. And Michael writes about these things. He's a Wall Street syndicated author. He is connected with some of the brightest people around the world when it comes to macroeconomics, cyclical economic theories. The guy knows what he's talking about. And I think it's important that we pay attention to what he has to say. He's all over it. And right now, Michael sees inflation coming into the economy. And it's just entering as he sees it. And he thinks it's going to increase and get worse. Commodities are increasing in price from lumber to copper to steel, silver, gold, all those things are going up. The value of the dollar is likely headed lower, impacting purchasing power. And below, a lot of his stuff too, I've got videos that he puts up on his YouTube channel. And just click on them. You can listen to what he has to say. Most of them are pretty short, usually 5-6 minutes in range. Gets straight to the point. Yes, he does have a lot of real estate stuff in some of these, but a lot of it is also built around looking at the environment. So he's, clearly interested in things like the price of copper, the price of lumber, how that's going to affect housing prices, real estate, so forth. Looks at currencies around the world. The United States dollar as compared to baskets of currencies, specific currencies. How does that affect our world? How does it affect the dollar and what we can buy with our dollar? And one of the things he talks about in the video, this is from the other day, Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell has publicly stated he does not mind if, quote, inflation runs a little hot. So he wants things to go up. And he talked about this back in August of 2020, and he came back out and publicly stated this again after Biden became president. Here are a couple of quotes from the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell. And I quote, "When the time comes to raise interest rates, we'll certainly do that. And at that time, by the way, is no time soon. If inflation were to move up in ways that are unwelcome, we have the tools for that and we will use them. No one should doubt that." So they seem to think they can control prices by waving their magic wand and raising interest rates and using all these fancy federal tools to manipulate and control the economy. So that's how they see it. You can click on this article from CNBC.com. Powell sees no interest rate hikes on the horizon as long as inflation stays low. The Federal Reserve also thinks they can manage and manipulate employment. And it's like, well, why is there unemployment then? Let's go, guys. Let's fix it. All-powerful Federal Reserve just relax. They've got this under control. Now, something they do need to consider, and this happened tonight, so this is February 9th, 2021. China decided to strengthen their currency against specifically the dollar and make their currency stronger against our United States dollar. Well, so that makes our dollar weaker, which again should be inflationary. So again, our dollar is worth less, and the cost of goods that we purchase are going up in price. So you got a Federal Reserve who wants a weaker dollar. China strengthens their currency to promote a weaker dollar. And all those things lead to inflation. Now, I know these government heads seem to think they can manage and control that, but at some point this spins out of control. It bears worth watching. Is this the time? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know there is a time coming in Revelation 6 when it will cost a day's wage just to eat. And that's just the start of the party of the tribulation in Revelation 6. Things get so bad that at some point, about 3.5 years in or a little bit later, some guy in control decides he's going to tell everybody, you can't do anything without this mark or participate in economic conditions. Now, granted, that's way later in the 7-year tribulation, but at the start, there will be hyperinflation. So it does stand to reason that there will be a trend of inflation in place sometime before this happens. So I'm going to continue to keep my eyes on it. Anything that shows up, we will be reporting on it. And I would encourage you to follow the stuff that Michael's written. He's just been excellent when it comes to market calls and is well connected with some of the brightest economic minds on the planet. I mean, I know a lot of you guys that follow Dr. Charles Nenner's work, cyclical economists, and does crazy work when it comes to the stock markets and commodity markets, and the guy's just excellent. So highly recommend you guys follow along, listen to what Michael has to say. Great stuff. Appreciate everybody following along. A little bit of a different post, but thought you guys would enjoy it. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.